What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and I cannot keep this in anymore. I literally cannot, because I've been teasing you guys for a while. I haven't really said a whole lot, but I have been showing you these shirts, and this is like the biggest announcement that I could ever make up until this point, and I really do appreciate everyone's support so far. So beginning of August, right now, today is when my store finally launches in terms of merch, all this t-shirts, all the fun stuff. It's starting. It's only gonna be up for 2 weeks, so click on the link down below and check it out. I only have all of the t-shirts, sweatshirts, long sleeves, hoodies, whatever you want, hats, the card protectors, all that fun stuff is up for sale on the store, but it's only open for 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks, guys. It's going to basically just be like a pre-order and get a whole batch, get all the orders together, then they'll start manufacturing and shipping some stuff off to you guys. So that's kind of how it works. Only open for 2 weeks. I'm going to be spamming with you guys about this. And also, quick little offer. First 10 people who do purchase something from that store, who buy a t-shirt or whatever it may be, gets a free card protector, one of those light blue custom chips. I'm throwing in there just as a token of appreciation. At the end of the day, all of this is like just mind-blowing, and really just me trying to just show you guys how much I appreciate all the support and everything. In terms of like this, the really great quality, it's super awesome. As you can see, I have everything laid out on my bed here. I'll show you guys in a bit. But also, huge shout out to Silver Screen Design. They're the ones who helped it out. They are a pretty local based custom apparel company. Custom apparel design company, essentially. Basically slap on a logo, whatever you want for a business or event. Check them out. They're located in Greenfield, Massachusetts, so super local. Anyways, I love the quality of things. Just to talk about a little bit, like, this is going to be the announcement. Later in this video we'll go over some hands and stuff like that, but just to talk about what's on the store and what I have to offer. So let's take a look. So we've got a couple things laid out here. So we got some t-shirts here. They're super soft. I actually really love the material. It's awesome. You'll see a little montage later in this video of how these shirts were made, but I was able to actually custom pick what kind of material and company and brand I wanted to go with in terms of the actual quality of the shirts. So these are just the Bella canvas ones, and they are actually super comfy and super soft. I'm very happy with how it came out. These are one of the sweatshirts, and this is another sweatshirt I have here, one of the hoodies. There's going to be two options of hoodies. There's going to be one of these, which is a Tultex. That's just kind of what it's called. Basically, I think it's a higher quality sweatshirt, but they had very limited colors. So for that reason, I wanted to add these in there as well. A bunch of different colors. It's called the Gildan. They're the generic kind of sweatshirts, but it's super soft, and I really like them. And also just like how there's a shit ton of colors to choose from. So these are like the small little batch for myself that you might have seen in the previous weeks and videos. And there's also a 3/4 sleeve, like baseball tee kind of thing, where it's white and then it goes to a blue color or a gray to another blue color. And yeah, so it's a whole mix of stuff. I'm really happy with how this all looks. It's literally gorgeous. So once again, huge shout out to Silver Screen Design. But I'm super excited about this. Never thought the day would come where I'd have some merch showing off the brand and just Rampage Poker having the logo out there. I'm very stoked about it. It's a huge shout out to Jamie. He's the one who kind of helped me put this all together. Another huge shout out to Carl, who actually designed the logo itself as well. So I'm very happy with how this all kind of worked out, and I hope you guys are excited about it as I am, because this is like the thing. Like, I'm mind blown that I could have just like a small little presence of influence. If I could see anyone who does wear one of these at Encore or MGM or wherever, like, I will shout you out. Like, I'll take a picture with you, post you on my Instagram, do whatever, as long as you're good with it. But I mean, I'm gonna be wearing this literally like for the rest of ever. Every time I go to a casino, obviously getting a session in, we're wearing one of these shirts, we're repping it. So if I do see you in one of them, like, I think that'd be crazy. So like I said, the store is only going to be open for 2 weeks. We'll be taking orders for 2 weeks, so from now until October 15th, that's when the end date is. And first time people get one of those custom blue chips for free, just because I really do appreciate you guys, and it's really awesome. Kind of want to gauge interest. I hope you guys are excited about it as I am. I might be posting some new like logos, designs, stuff like that if you guys are interested, if the interest is there. But for now, we're rocking with these bad boys and I am super excited. So on to the t-shirt making montage. Before we get into the hands that I'll go over that I played, we got a quick little guest and hand analysis by my boy Jamie here. You've seen him in the YouTube comment section a ton. Also, if you joined my Facebook group, hint, join the Facebook group if you haven't already. He's super active on there as well, and also he helped me out with baking on these shirts. He's actually been a really huge supporter and contributor to the channel and everything like that, so you guys have definitely seen him before, and I'll let him take the floor.
Hey guys, this is Jamie from Silver Screen Design. We just printed some shirts for Ethan. If you have any printed apparel or embroidered apparel needs, you can feel free to contact me. We can help you out with your business, any events you're having, family reunions. Glad to help. So I met Ethan last year when he was going to UMass. I run a small bar tournament the next town over, and him and a couple of his UMass friends showed up to play. As I was watching some poker vlogs a few weeks later, one popped up that had footage from the MGM Springfield, and since that's where I typically play, I checked it out, and sure enough, it was Ethan, and I realized I've been playing with this kid for a couple months now. So we got to talking. We've stayed in touch since he graduated. I still see him at the MGM every now and then. And then when he wanted to get some printed shirts, he contacted me, and I've been helping him out since. This hand is actually from a few months ago. It's one of my favorite hands that I've played recently, just because there's quite a bit of run good. This was 1-2 at the MGM Springfield. This hand was dealt by Priscilla. Shout out to you, Priscilla. I was the small blind, and the button, who is straddling this hand, $5. He is a 2-5 regular, and he plays a bit loose, aggressive, and he likes to gamble. The cutoff is also in the hand, and he is the table calling station. Plays too many hands, calls way too light, and he was definitely the person to have in the hand for this one. And in the small blind, I look at 2 red 3s, and I call the 5. The under the gun player, however, also calls the 5. And this concerns me because he had done this a while back when the same button player had straddled with aces looking to trap. If there's any raise or anything gets out of control, I'm definitely done with the hand, even if the button raises, because I know the under the gun player is just waiting. So he calls, a couple other players call, the cutoff calls, and the button thankfully checks. So I do get to see a flop for $5, and that flop comes 3-3 queen, and god damn it, we flop quads. Sorry, Ron. So I check, the under the gun player checks, it checks through to the button, who also checks. The turn is an offsuit jack. I check again because I need people to catch up if I'm going to make any money off of this hand. The under the gun player bets 20. The cutoff calls, the button folds, and I call. The river is a great card. It's a queen. So now anybody with a queen has a boat. I'm probably going to get paid if that's the case. However, I do check the river, which I don't like. I should have bet, even if I bet small, I should have bet looking to induce a raise, or I'm going to get a raise from a queen anyway. So I really should have bet, because if it checks through, that's just the worst possible outcome. The under the gun player checks, and I'm getting a little worried because if the cutoff checks, that's it. We're done. We're winning a small pot. But the cutoff, thankfully, bets 75. I know immediately he's got a queen, so I just rip it in for what's left of my 400. The under the gun player folds, and the cutoff snap calls and shows queen 6 offsuit. I show my quads and I rake in a pretty huge pot. It was one of the better hands I've had lately, and I did find out later that the under the gun player did have aces, and he ended up folding because he knew there was no way his aces were good, but he was definitely looking to trap the button. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Back to you, Ethan.
The hands that I'll go over in this video are from a past session that I never even talked about. I just didn't really feel like recording or vlogging this session, surprisingly. But I got a few hands here from the session at Encore, and let's just go over them because I think they're kind of fun. So here we hop into a brand new 1-3 table, and we look down at 3-4 of hearts under the gun with 300 in our stack. Brand new table, let's mix things up. Under the gun, we got a suited connector, maybe. So I open this up to $15, and we get 2 callers from the middle position and big blind. So we're gonna go 3 ways to a flop in middle position here in this spot of queen jack 9, 2 hearts out there. Pretty decent flop for us. We wanted to flop some equity, and this is a flop to do so. I am going to c-bet $25 with my baby flush draw, and the middle position player, he looked like he was going to raise, which is very interesting. He thought of it for a while, had raising chips in his hand, but elected to call. So also the big blind then folds, so we know he's pretty strong here, and we've got to improve for sure. Maybe he has a straight already, maybe he has 2 pair, but board is pretty connected, and it definitely looks like he's ahead. We go to a turn which is the 7 of hearts, so we do bank our baby flush, so we do get there. And here I'm gonna lead up for value here. I bet $45, since he's considering how he looked super strong on the flop and wanting to raise. This heart on the turn really isn't the best card for him, so that's why I let out here, and that's why I bet really small. I think I could blow him off if I actually went for a bigger sized bet. I think he can fold out his made straights, or has to call 1 and fold the river, but I'm trying to go for 3 streets of value, and I think this value sizing can definitely do that. So he makes the call, and we go to a river, which is the 3 of clubs. Doesn't change anything. Great that there's no another heart out there. So with our flush, I'm gonna go and bet 120 for value. He thinks for a while and then tosses in the chip. He calls. We show our 3-4 of hearts, and he mucks. He later said that I got lucky, so it sounds like he had the straight right on the flop there, and we get there with our flush and get some value. Second hand here in this particular session, we have queen 10 of hearts in the middle position. I opened it up to $12 here, and only the player to my left makes the call. He's a fairly good reg, it seems like, but obviously not too much information about him since the table just opened. So we're gonna go heads up out of position to a flop of Jack Jack 8 rainbow. We do flop a little gutter ball here, but really not thinking that we can c-bet him out of the pot here too often. So for all those reasons, I decide to check, and he checks it back. The turn is the king of spades, and here with an open-ended draw, we're gonna go for it, just c-bet a little bit. Hopefully we can get there. I c-bet $15. He doesn't think too long before raising me to $45. Here in the spot with just the open-ended draw on a paired board, I think I still got a few outs. He could absolutely have a jack in this spot, but still think I can bank one of my outs and get some value. So I decided to just flat this. I make the call. It's a pretty loose call, honestly, but Looking back, like he could have some bluffs in his range, so maybe a queen or a 10 could be good here sometimes, small percentage of the time. But we go to a river, which is the ace of clubs, so we do get there. We get there with Broadway, but like I said, it's a paired board, so we could be behind here, but with Broadway straight, we're going to bet for value here and lead out. I bet $85. He thinks for quite some time, probably like a minute or so, and ends up jamming his stack, $260. Such a gross spot. It's just like he always has it, especially at these stakes. No one's really bluff raising here on the river ever, never, ever in these spots. So really gross. I could easily get away from here, but at the end of the day, like, I do have a bluff catcher, and like, do I think that he could ever overplay a hand like Jack 9? Because I do block Jack Queen and Jack 10, so does he really overplay Jack 9 in the spot? Very unlikely. So he's repping all the boats in the world, but I decided to make the call. All right, I have the straight. I mean, it's unfortunate. I put myself into trouble, and if I'm behind, then so be it. I'm paying him off, and he gets a double up on me. So I make the call, and he does show us the ace jack offsuit, and he takes it down, unfortunately. So nice hand to him. Looking back on it, like, it's a very standard fold here a lot of the time, considering the player type and considering the stakes that we're playing. No one's doing that with just trips, and that's it. No one's really doing that with Jack 8 or Jack 9, I said. And he's just, I gotta have all the boats in the world here. This hand here is a little interesting, and let's just go into it. So I have pocket deuces in under the gun +2. I decided to limp when under the gun player limps to me, and there's 3 limpers in total to a middle position player who raises it up to $22. Pretty recreational player here. Raising super big, seems like he has a pretty monster hand. So putting him on a monster hand, deuces, great candidate to crack aces, kings, and queens. The big blind player makes the call, so she cold calls, and I am going to call as well. So let's go 3 ways to a flop of ace, deuce, 3, 2 hearts on the flop. We flop bottom sets, really great. The ace isn't the best card I wanted to see, because I am putting this middle position pre-flop raiser on a hand like aces or kings, and I can't get value from kings with the ace out there, and I really am screwed against aces. So the big blind checks, and action to me. I thought about leading in this spot, honestly. Thought I could get some value or something here. Really thought about leading in this spot, especially with such a strong hand. I could look really weak. I could look like I'm on a draw. I can look like a lot of things, and I think leading with the stronger part of my range is it'd be an interesting line to take that I thought about. But I thought about it, but I'd like it to check to the pre-flop raiser middle position player. He bets $35. Awesome, thank you for betting. I did not want this flop to check through. The big blind also calls, so obvious raise spot here. Now just got to figure out a sizing. We had every intention in the world to check raise this, but leading out was very interesting, I think. Anyways, I decided to raise it up to $155. Middle position player snap jams all in, $230 total. And actions of the big blind player who tanks for quite some time. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not very comfortable with the middle position player snap jamming this. It just, like I said, putting him on his range of aces and kings with such a large raise from this player. The big blind thinks about it and folds. She does not do anything but fold. Obviously, I have to call in this spot, but I really honestly don't feel great about it. So the big blind says that she folded ace king when we show our hand. I show pocket deuces. The other guy shows ace 8 of clubs. What? The turn is an 8, and the run out and the river is a jack. So he ended up having 2 pair. The big blind ended up folding ace king, good fold by her, and I went with my set of deuces. But like I said, it'd be very interesting if I led out on that flop, and ace king will absolutely raise my bet there 100% of the time, especially out of position on a 2-tone board. So very interesting, but that's how that hand went out. Last hand I'll go over, I have ace 9 of diamonds in the cutoff, and there's a limper to me. I raise it up to $15, and we get a few callers, the button and the limper. So let's go 3 ways to a flop of ace 7-10 rainbow awesome flop for us as we can rep the ace and also open-ended. So when action checks to me, I'm going to bet $30 here in this spot. Open-ended, I can rep the ace all the time, but well, we get some action because both players make the call. So both calls, and we love to bank one of our outs here, and it does come. Turn is the jack of spades, so we do get there. Awesome. Not the nut straight as Broadway gets there, but we're feeling pretty confident about our hand. Once again, it checks to me, and I'm gonna size up for value here a lot of the time, assuming that one of them has got to be pretty strong. Like, if I'm getting two callers, I've got to get value from at least one of them, right? They both can't they both just can't have air. So I decide to size up to $100, and they both fold pretty quickly, unfortunately. So not one of those ideal spots that we want to get involved in terms of not getting paid or value out of it, but we take down the pot and we're moving on. Moving on to wrap up this video, hopefully you enjoyed this one. I'm really excited about releasing this one because it's just been something that I've been working on forever, like getting t-shirts ever since like a month and a half ago, honestly. It has been a journey, and I'm really excited to announce that it's finally here. So honestly, guys, like, I'm super excited for this opportunity. I hope you guys are as well. Let me know in the comments section below what's like your favorite color, what you guys are gonna get. I'm just stoked. All right, I really hope that you guys are excited as I am. But leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I'm signing off this video for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. I appreciate everyone's support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.